Hi and welcome to another narration presented by yours truly, Cryptids Roost. Please be so kind as to throat punch the like button and smack the ass of the subscription button as well. And remember to tap the notification bell and then select all. That way you'll receive all notifications each time I upload a new video. Oh, and don't forget to share the video far and wide. This will all help with YouTube's algorithm and will help promote the channel more. If you enjoy listening to the following story, be sure to pop over to the author's Reddit profile and drop them a line, or even give them a glowing review. I'm sure they would appreciate it. The link to their Reddit profile will be below in the description. So grab your coffee, sit back and enjoy the show. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not. Keeper of the Necronomicon, Part 9. This fantastic series is written by FREDDEGRAN, a wonderful author over on his own Reddit FREDDEGRAN subreddit. Off to Riley we must go. I met with Lubna, Bigfoot, Sana the vampire angel and Poseidon, the king of Atlantis. The book is gone, I exclaimed in terror. Some keeper of the Necronomicon I was, losing the most important book of all time, a book so powerful that it could wake Cthulhu and doom us all. Fuck. Damn it to hell. And my son is gone. I went to bed with him and was with him all night. He had bad dreams and could not sleep, and when I woke up, my only child is missing. Wait, what? You were with him, not with me? Then who was I for? You did what now? Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, the old saying says, and Lubna did her best to prove it right. I thought I was with you. It looked like you, smelt like you, and felt like you. The realization of what I'd been poking was slowly creeping up on me. We found the head of Amber, the real Amber. King Poseidon was holding up the head of the deceased former beautiful Atlantean woman in her long red hair. She had been beheaded by a powerful strike of a sharp blade. My deduction says we are dealing with a powerful shapeshifter, possibly another reptilian from the Illuminati that slept with the keeper of the Necronomicon, stole the book, and also took the boy after taking the shape of the Arabic woman Lubna. It probably needs the boy to hold the book. It seems to grow teeth and bite anyone who has no bloodline linked to the mad Arab Abdul al-Hazred. But I fucking nuked the Illuminati, I said. Well, there are of course more of them out there. Some of them might be foolish enough to wake Cthulhu. Maybe they think to defeat him by other means than nukes. Maybe they just want to doom the world. Who really knows? The genius Sasquatch was laying down some cold facts. Indeed, who can understand reptilian logic of filthy lizard men? And it might be another form of shapeshifter. I will hereby conclude that this woman, Lubna, is innocent and will not be executed like all rule breakers of Atlantis. We must hurry to the filthy stone prison of Riley, where the disgusting abomination, the eldritch god Great Cthulhu, lies dreaming. There will be many squid people, the disgusting cephaloids, enemies of mermaids and Atlanteans for generations. My army will help you fight them. Sasquatch, are there more of your kind? Bigfoots, or big feet you may call them, to aid on our quest? There are plenty more of my kind, but none that can aid us on our quest, I am afraid. We have no time to gather more allies. We must leave at once. I agree. But first we must make sure that my city will not be taken over by filthy shapeshifters while we are gone. Us Atlanteans bleed blue, a characteristic trait that reptilians have never been able to replicate. So anyone to be left guarding the city will have to cut themselves and bleed in front of my eyes, so I can inspect their blood. After that business is taken care of, we shall be leaving. And so he did. Only one person was bleeding red, and the king quickly cut his head off. It turned into a disgusting reptilian head in front of us. We had time to eat and gather weapons and supplies, and then we left in the submarine. Mermaids and Atlanteans riding on giant seahorses followed, guarding us. Under the sea, we travelled for hours underwater, covering a great distance in the Nautilus, the legendary submarine who had once been piloted by Captain Nemo on his underseas adventures. The genius Sasquatch had of course made some improvements to the submarine, making it more fit for underwater warfare. These upgrades would come in handy soon. In the submarine was me, the keeper of the Necronomicon, the book of the dead made out of human flesh and written in human blood, the book I had lost and the book we must now recover. Lubna, my love, the Arabic woman with telekinetic powers, Poseidon, king of the sunken city of Atlantis, Sana, the vampiric angel wearing Sir Lancelot's armour, and of course the Bigfoot was piloting the submarine. You know what, Bigfoot? We never got your name. What is it? I asked my hairy, ape-like friend with feet the size of newborn babies. We Sasquatches are not much for names. You can call me Chewie, like my favourite Star Wars character. Well then, Chewie it is, me and Lubna said at the same time. We both joined each other in laughter. I was thinking, maybe you should let the vampire girl suck some of your blood. You have the mad Arab's blood in you, so you can grab the Necronomicon, but only you. It would be most useful if Sana would also gain the ability. Excellent idea! King Poseidon liked that idea. I concur, as long as the vamp angel girl don't mind, Chewie asked. Oh, I don't mind at all. Sana removed her helmet and began to suck blood from my arm. It felt strange and funny as she drained me, but I was alright. My blood was joined with the blood of Christ that she had already sucked from Jen's. The man had aided us in our quest, but met with an utmost unfortunate end at the end of the sharp tip of the Spear of Destiny, the very same spear that had penetrated his ancestor, Jesus Christ. It was something poetic about it. But wait, I won't turn into a vampire now, and wait again, maybe you should turn me into a vampire. Maybe the whole team. Having the whole team gaining the skills of vampires could prove useful, I told the girl. I honestly don't know, but I think not. Not every vampire can in fact make other vampires. If we could, the world would have been overrun with vampires long ago. Only vampire overlords, like Nosferatu, like Van Helsing was before he died, can in fact make other vampires. Oh, the irony. The greatest vampire hunter turned into a vampire himself. I wonder how that happened, Poseidon, the Atlantean king, asked. That is one of the many things I wish to discuss with that bearded bastard and old fool Merlin, I proclaimed in anger. You and me both, buddy. But now it's time for action. Enemy approaching. Great white sharks. Big ones. A snake-topus and a small army of squidmen up ahead. What the fuck is a snake-topus? I asked, bewildered. Just as it sounds. A giant octopus with snake arms instead of tentacles, and a giant mouth with shark teeth. It has been terrorising the deep and eating many of my people alive. Let's kill this fucker. Time for some action. Chewie was piloting the sub, and I of course was the shooter. The rest of the team helped with launching the torpedoes. First two torpedoes hit the head of two of the ugly snake arms, killing them both, exploding and turning the water red with the blood from the heads and blown off tentacles filling the water. The sharks were hungry and could sense the blood from miles away. They were hammer-headed sharks, saw sharks, tiger-striped sharks, grey sharks, but worst of all, the great white shark. They were all fighting for the blown-off tentacle bits and biting at the snake-topus's leftover tentacles still attached. To its hideous body, some of the sharks fought each other for the leftovers. The great white decided to end the fighting and bit a smaller shark in half. I aimed at the snake-topus's hideous body and mouth in the middle between its arms. I hit it right in its open ugly mouth and it exploded from the inside out, filling the seawater with its blood and guts and hideous intestines. Great work, kid. That shot was 1 in a million. Chewie the Sasquatch praised my skillful shot. Wow, that Bigfoot really loves Star Wars. But who would have knew? But please, Chewie, please tell me you don't love the Disney movies, I asked him. Fuck Disney, fuck Kathleen Kennedy, and fuck Mary Sue. Force was always partly female. Princess Leia was a powerful, strong woman, way before Rey and Rose Tico. My man, this Bigfoot was a man of culture. Princess Leia in that golden bikini in Jabba's palace was why I learned a woman can be more interesting than a Nintendo game. Just a boy becoming a man. But I was not going to ask a fucking Bigfoot about his fapping habits. If Bigfoots ever did those things, I was not going to find out in the middle of an epic underwater battle anyway. I guess some things are better left alone anyway. I am summoning my comrades in arms, the great whales. Poseidon, the king of Atlantis, could of course command sea life with his mind. And I know people give Aquaman a rough time, but there is much more than fish living in the deep. The fucking sharks don't listen to my command. They are all deemed traitors from now on by me, said Poseidon, king of Atlantis, the sunken city, ruler of the seven seas. The great whales came. Orcas, the black and white killer whale you might have seen at SeaWorld. The big blue whales, grey whales with their humps on their backs. Narwhal with their long spear-like tusks, but most of all, the MVP, the big kahuna, the blue whale, biggest animal on planet Earth. Its heart is the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. It must eat 4 tons of krill each day to live. There were 4 of them, all hungry, with open giant mouths, opened and swallowing the army of squidmen who opposed us in our giant quest to R'lyeh, the stone prison of giant Cthulhu. A yellow submarine appeared. It torpedoed one of the blue whales. Sharks were fighting and biting each other just to get a taste of the whale's sweet, sweet blown off flesh. Mermaids were cutting sharks and poking out their eyes with knives. Some of them had underwater spear guns and shooting the sharks straight in the face, killing a few. Atlanteans riding great seahorses cut the head of a hammerhead shark and some of the smaller whales in half. But the giant whites proved too big a challenge, and some of them bit our men in two, and some were swallowed whole. Chewie kept our sub out of harm's way, and I kept shooting torpedoes, killing many great whites. The rest seemed scared and retreated. It appeared we had the upper hand, but the yellow submarine was still out there. Another blue whale was killed in action, leaving us with 2 down and 2 alive. Its giant body was floating dead in the water. A massive amount of blood from the dead whale filled the water, sending the sharks into a kill frenzy. Poseidon summoned a powerful underwater current. The flow of water pulled the remaining squidmen into the shark's kill zone. Arms, legs and heads were all bitten off, leaving torsos with missing body parts floating about. One of the remaining blue whales opened its giant mouth and swallowed the leftovers of the dead squidmen and the alive ones. They tried their hardest to keep swimming away from its giant mouth, but they were unsuccessful. The mermaid summoned a pack of dolphins, and a group of dolphins can actually kill hammer sharks or tiger sharks by working together. Most of the smaller sharks were killed and the rest fled, leaving only the great whites and the yellow submarine as our opposing forces. The squidmen were all dead. 3 great whites remained. They were all attacking 1 great blue whale. The smaller whales had all left. The big blue whale swallowed half of a great white. The other 2, however, ripped it apart, and that's when I saw it. I took a chance shot. The torpedo went flying through the water for a great distance, and it hit. I sunk the enemy's damn submarine. I wondered who was inside for a second, but there was no time to find out. I blew the face off one of the great whites, and only one remained, and it proved no match for the great blue whale. The whale sent the shark running, or swimming. Either way, it fucked right off. We were finally approaching our final destination, R'lyeh, home of the great Cthulhu, the eldritch god forever sleeping there. Waking him would end the world. We must stop the bad guys and the cursed book of the Necronomicon, the book of the dead, get it back into our hands again. Don't forget, if you enjoyed that story, be sure to pop over to the author's Reddit profile and drop them a line, or even give them a glowing review. I'm sure they really would appreciate it. The link to their Reddit profile will be below in the description. Don't forget to check out the merch store. The link will be in the description and also in the video thumbnail. And if you'd like an honourable mention, send in a snapshot of yourself with your purchase and I'll feature it in one of the videos. Have you written a creepypasta story you would like me to narrate? Have you had any cryptid sightings, paranormal or supernatural encounters, or even had a creepy or terrifying situation you would like to share? Well, I now have my very own subreddit community where you can submit your stories. The link for that is also in the thumbnail as well as below in the description. You can submit your stories there, or you can send them to cryptidsroost@gmail.com. If you wish to remain anonymous, that's fine with me. Now I also have a Facebook group, Twitter, Reddit and Discord. And if you'd like to support the channel and help make it grow, my PayPal is paypal.me/cryptidsroost, and any and all donations would be gratefully received. Again, that will also be below. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not.